for another great warm-up show with hockey coach, local Francis Zerkley for the beautiful country of talent. And we have to go all the way to Toronto somewhere, somehow. Back again from ESPN to TSN. The only one we got at the warm-up show, the co-host, Mr. ENORTAP, is in the house.
Hello, Coach. Hello, Hockey Nation. Coach, I'm starting to get a headache from all this movement. Too many trades to keep track
March
of. It's crazy.
March 1st, Mr. ENORTAP, the first day of March 2023. Really interesting what's going on around the league. Mr. ENORTAP, a lot of action. The trade deadline is March 3rd, right? 2023. This is the end. But I feel like the trade deadline is every day. Every day.
It is every day.
It's every day. So I think Friday, everybody go on vacation. So
No,
they
I don't
got
think
no
so.
trade Friday where you expect to have some trade at the end of the night, at the end of the trade deadline. But it looked like we're not going to get there, but we'll see what happens, Mr. ENORTAP. But we're going to talk about the trade deadline tonight. 10 games to review from last night. What a great night. And then finally tonight we have, I think, 6 games in the program in NHL. And that's what we got for you guys tonight. We talk about Frank Continents. We have the Montreal Canadiens won last night at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, AM. By the score 3-1. If you miss it, you miss a great game at the third period for Montreal with 3 goals back. And we're going to talk about what's happening with all for the Montreal Canadiens. Not much. Ken Hughes is already in vacation, look like, by the way, because Kenny is very quiet. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that. It will be interesting what he's going to do for the next 36 hours. But until then, Mr. ENORTAP, we want to welcome everybody in the chat. We have already some great people in the chat. Without them, the show is not going to be happening. And we want to welcome everybody. And we're going to welcome one by one, Mr. ENORTAP. First of all, we have Brett Marchand, Mr. ENORTAP, back in the house from Boulder, Colorado.
Oh, welcome back, Brad.
Very happy about his Bruins. Great for the all. Of Famer. Oh, Joseph Lahem. I apologize for that one there. I don't know what this is coming from, but Joseph Lahem from Houston. Welcome back. Is looking for the Devil tonight against the Colorado Avalanche. Mr. ENORTAP, big game in front of us. Then Grape, like I said, welcome back in the house. Thanks to be with the Hockey Nation Live Show. And we have Rick Bengal. Rick and Temedra. Welcome back.
Yes, my head hurts, Rick. Oh, it's horrible. Welcome back.
What about Sean Myers, Mr. ENORTAP? Back in the house, Sean.
Welcome, Sean.
No, Sean, it will not go happen. I apologize for that one over there. I look my sexy look every single day morning. I said I look sexy, so let's stay that way with that. So that's a subject for another time. Brand new is in the house, Mr. ENORTAP.
Hey, brand new.
You're absolutely right about this. The next 2 days is going to be interesting. Some signature, by the way, for the Detroit Red Wings. Through the Roger. Here we go. Great. Always a pleasure. And Melissa, somewhere, somehow, from Detroit in the house tonight.
Welcome, Melissa.
André Robert Drouin, back in the house from la belle province de Québec.
Hello, Andre.
Hey, Rick Ken with a new sign, a new emoji with the Vancouver Canucks. Welcome back, Rick. Thanks to be with the Hockey Nation Live Show at the warm-up show, specially from Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. Mr. ENORTAP. Her friend Yamo Vartanen, Mr. ENORTAP, is in the house.
Oh, bro. Coach.
Hey, Mr. Luciano Graziano, back in the house.
Coach, we have an alert, Coach.
I don't know what's going on, Mr. ENORTAP. I feel like he's eating a pizza.
No, we have a timeout here. I'm just checking to see if it's official yet, but we have a trade alert. The Senators have acquired defenseman Jacob Chychrun from Arizona in exchange for a conditional first draft pick in 2023, a conditional second in 24. And a second-round pick in 26. So I'm just trying to see if there's further confirmation on that. And that's it. I guess the price came down. But we'll check just to make sure. I don't want to spread false.
Wow.
If that's true, they got a good deal there.
Wow, 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 wow. Another breaking news. Look like the Ottawa Senator could get the Jacob Chick run and return first round pick 23, second round pick 24, third round pick 26, or second round pick.
Yes. Let me check. I think it was a 26. Yeah, a second round 26.
Here we go.
Previously acquired from the Capitals.
Yep. King of Gamer, welcome back in the house. Wow, I'm shocked.
Me too.
Possible, Yamo. Looking forward to playoff. Rick, you're absolutely right about this. This is a great comment because looking already interesting the first round when we talk about the first, the second, and the third. And the standing for each division. I think that's really interesting about that.
You
What
put
is
it
the thought
best
on
yesterday,
Simino
Coach.
ELC? Also, I have a good feeling about COURNOYER. We shall see. Yeah, you're absolutely right about King about this. Simino, it was a question time. I think he bring it up for Laval Rockets. They want to, give back to the young kid. And then for COURNOYER, but good game yesterday. We'll talk about him the next couple of minutes. You're welcome, Mr. Rick. Run with Kings directly from Utah. Good afternoon. Wake up, Arizona. Are you waiting too long to deal? She can't not sit him down and not trade him. He will come back very soon. He not traded Luciano, but your wish is done deal look like right now. So Luciano, I think Pierre Dorian was thinking about you. And then he said, we're going to trade him. Yamo Vartanen confirmed with the Ottawa Senator.
Yeah, it's official now, Coach. It's official. I got a couple of other confirmations on that. And there's also heavy speculation that there could be a deal coming up between the Edmonton Oilers and Montreal involving Jake Allen.
Really?
That's what they're saying. But
Wow.
no confirmation on that yet.
But again, I'm shocked. First round pick, second round pick, and a second round pick 2026 with no player involved. Yeah, this is a steal for Ottawa Senator.
The first round pick is top 5 protected for 2023. The second round pick in 2024 is also conditional, but I don't know the condition yet. And so is the second round pick in 2026. So I don't know. I think that's a steal for Ottawa.
And because remember, he was looking for 2 first round pick and a prospect.
That's right.
So you not get it right there.
No. That's weird.
Wow. Chicago is in the house.
Welcome, Chicago.
Double J is in the house. Welcome back.
Hey, Double J. Never a dull moment on the Hockey Nation.
When they said conditioning, what could that entail, Mr. ENORTAP?
Well, I just mentioned that the first round pick is top 5 protected, but we'll have to wait and see what the conditions on the seconds are because they haven't specified that yet. But I think it's a great move for Ottawa.
I agree with you about that. I think it's an amazing, great move for them. For that, usually a conditional example is like if the team have to pick the top 10 in the NHL draft for any years, but he's protected, so that the team keep that pick and then you give them the following year or whatever it is come with the conditional about that. So that's the difference between usually a conditional about that. Steve G said too expensive for Chick Run.
Not given what they were asking. I mean, they were asking quite a bit, and I guess we had the situation with Ronick earlier on, just recently, getting both a first and a second. I don't know if it's too much.
Exactly. Mr. Iamo mentioned that. The condition the 23-23 is a pick top 5 protected. It might become 24 first round pick unprotected in the ENORTAP.
Okay.
So it's confirmed by this. Arizona, so many assets. Trading Jake Allen is brilliant for Rick Bengal. How about that? Interesting, maybe someone get Allen, like I was thinking, is a solid goalie. RJ mentioned about Darren Logan. We're going to get that. It's not going to get you a cup. Steve Allen's not going to get you a cup. But he get us a second, Jake Allen. Double J, welcome back. Like I said, I doubt this is specific to this show, but I would love to hear Frenchy and ENORTAP opinion about the Soviet coach Anatoly Tarasov and how his training method revolutionate her game, Mr. ENORTAP.
Oh, that's a long one to get into. Maybe at the 9 o'clock show.
Yeah, that'd be great. We can
That would be
mention
very
this at
good.
9 o'clock or 9 o'clock tonight. Great. I know you come anyway. We can talk or remind us
Yeah.
to talking about this because we have a couple of stories we can add. Rick Bengal and great comments about the soccer thing about that. So that'll be interesting. John Gilbert is sit down, Mr. Nata, for tonight.
Yeah, he's been speculated to move as well, and there's also word that Colorado might be looking at Lars Eller.
It's confirmed. He's straight already.
Oh, it's been traded already?
Yeah. Confirm about that. Let's alert go to second round pick 2025. Marco Larabé knock on the door. Called Eller to the Avalanche yesterday and Chick run to the Center last night.
Yes,
Marco
yes.
mentioned that yesterday. Not a
I think
problem.
that's a
Great.
good pickup.
I never
good
heard
pickup for
anything
Colorado.
about Jake been traded. Not a word. It's not trade yet. It's another
No.
rumor.
Yeah, it's very heavy speculation right now between the Oilers and Montreal.
Yep, not a problem. That Rick consists to answer for Tarasov. Thank you so much, Rick. We appreciate. Danny D is in the house, Mr. ENORTAP. So we get around the what we got so far. Steve G, by the way, welcome back. Welcome aboard. Last Eller for Steve G for Colorado. Mr. ENORTAP, first of all, I request a verification with the Deloitte Smith verification. And after I demand my appeal, they gave us an answer at 38 seconds of the show last night. We got a disagreement or a conversation between me and ENORTAP because he said, no, you picked Calgary. And I said, no, I picked Boston 3-2. And then we have to go all the way to the show. To watching this show yesterday, you're right around at the same time, but the words of my voice confirmed that one of there. I said Boston 3-2, and then I put for you Calgary 4-3, but you took Boston 4-3, so that was a get one over there. So I'm at the boss now at 8-2 and not 7-3 on that email over there, and then that's confirmed happening that. But I'm not the only one. I always go to the boss, Mr. ENORTAP, never alone. So it's not like I dominate in that all the time. I don't dominate a lot because people get it. We have to congratulate Mr. Again, another tour at the boss, Mr. ENORTAP. You maybe become a guide of the tour of the boss. We don't know, but Pierre Martin again returned in the boss, Mr. ENORTAP, for a second day. Following by Vinny, Peter August from the jail to the boss in Chicago. All the people in the boss and in the boss with me. So we're going to have a really good party over there, and we're going to start the bus right away. So we'll put this out of the. Here we go. We move on with that one over there. Rick is going to talk about all the things like that. Just in case you all forget. Rick, I will never forget something about you. First of all, your tour in Halifax after the World Junior Championship was awesome. But secondly, you leave winner the Stanley Cup. And thirdly, Austin Matthews with Arizona. So I checked this all 3 boxes for you. If it's happening, you're a genius. If you're not, you're still a genius, by the way. But this coming from Dementra. So that's another subject. We can talk about this, Mr. ENORTAP, one more time. About that, we have a few people knock the door. Don't forget, guys, to click on the like. If you don't mind, that'd be great. Like I said, Jake Allen, that's not trait yet conversation about him. Mr. ENORTAP, what we do at the beginning of the show, we ask you what caught your attention. I will give you the 10-team one yesterday. Last night, Ottawa, Boston, Montreal, Florida, Columbus Blue Jacket, the Washington Kings, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Seattle, Arizona. Some team there looking better, some team looking worse, and I would like to hear from that. I'm going to add more at the end of your presentation of the standing.
Yeah, every single night, coach, we're getting one of the bottom dwellers coming out of nowhere and stealing 2 points away. It looks like everybody's trying to avoid Connor Bedard for some reason. I don't know why, but here we are last night. We had obviously some really good games. I think one, two, three. I think three of them went to overtime. Actually, one was overtime. Two were shootouts, and there
Yeah, we
were
talk
three
about
games,
Minnesota, Mr. ENORTAP.
the ones you and I disagreed on. So I've had the worst luck with overtime. I kind of feel like the Dallas Stars that keep going to overtime and losing, and that's really been what's been killing me. But anyways,
Well, yeah, you want both
the
team, Minnesota and the Kings.
and the Jets too. I had,
Yeah,
and they went to overtime and lost.
yeah.
The other one was, well, it was the Boston, but that one we won, so that's okay. Um, Arizona yesterday earned another 2 points, so they defeated the Chicago Blackhawks to no one's surprise. But the big game for me, I think, the shocker was Columbus. I thought to defeat Buffalo when Buffalo really had a lot of momentum. They were at home. You have the energy of trying to chase down that final wild card position, and pretty much they turned in the kind of game that you can't afford to, and then they lost to Columbus. Ottawa, of course, put themselves right into the equation, which helped determine or establish why they probably went out and picked up Chikrin now, even though there was speculation, the entire uh, couple of weeks or even longer that they were after him. But they soundly defeated Detroit yet again, 6-1. And Tampa Bay, wow, twice in a row. I really thought this time they at home they would have defeated the Florida Panthers and used that last game as sort of a revenge rebounding board to really take it to them. But you got to give credit to Florida. They Tampa Bay did not come up with a good game, though. I mean, I you can they're entitled to have a bad game here and there. Everybody does and will. Um, but the essence of it is where they're ended up. They're just going to fight the Leafs, obviously, for second for that home ice advantage, but they know who their matchup is going to be against. Um, Boston Bruins, unbelievable, coach. We had 57 shots against Allmark. Just came up with a absolutely fantastic effort when probably everybody on Boston had kind of the night off. I thought Calgary totally dominated this game, but they keep doing this. They fall behind early. Calgary's one of the best teams out there. They're one of the top 10 teams 5-on-5. If you look at their expected goals for, it does not match up with reality. So it's kind of it's very puzzling to me. I don't understand it. Uh, it's pretty much the fact that they're not getting the goaltending, and that really takes away from momentum. It takes away from pursuing the victory and going after the 2 points. Yesterday they finally did come back strong in the second period, second and third. They scored 3 goals before Boston finally. Zaka scored late in the last 5 minutes to tie it up, and Charlie McAvoy stole the game for them. Shots on net 57-20. Just unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely about that. I was flying with the people in the chat. Welcome everybody. If we did not mention your name, but Yamo, I mentioned the Lesson Kings just make a trade for the Buffalo Sabre to get the right goaltender Eric Portello. from the Michigan
Yeah.
Wolverine for a third round pick, 2023. It was a goaltender. I thought possibly could be an asset for the Montreal Canadiens if they could make that trade, but looked like it did not happen again. And we have Stu Pilozo, Mr. Nata, back in the house, Mr.
Hey,
Nata.
Stu, welcome.
What about Thunder Pack is on the house? Welcome back. Thanks for being there. Like with Detroit, there is there a move and missing Thunder Pack. Really interesting what Detroit did, of course, the last couple of days. But we're going to figure out what could happen. You have two general manager guys, a GM. You cannot read. One is Steve Eisenman, a second is Lou Lamariello. You never know
Yes.
what direction they thinking when they go, and it's like a box of popcorn machine on top. They pop up with something with nobody expect, and they pop up with something. So I just want to say this one over there. Steve G said the Rangers and the Bruins come out of the East this season. About this one, Patrick is out tonight. Egon is Sunday Lake, correct. Good evening, Mr. William McClary. Thanks so much to be with our Canadian Live
Hey,
show.
William.
And then get a start tonight, Yamo. Here we go. So with that, we got yesterday, my son at that. I want to mention a three-star of the night. Capital, 4 goals for Lesson Kings yesterday. Again, but
Could have
his
had
opponent
six.
players, defenseman Murray C, 2 goals, 2 assists for 4 point. Congratulations. Robinson, a hat trick for Columbus against the Sabres, Buffalo Sabres. And then, unfortunately, I didn't mention, but Ulmark between the pipe against the Calgary Flame. We have to mention that one over there. A great performance from him. They keep the Boston to get that W yesterday. Again, the Flame. Honestly, I will just mention to you, Detroit not looking good. The Buffalo, like he said, not looking good. I still believe this is going to be a knockout for the Buffalo for the rest of the year. I don't know how they can come back about that. So it'll be really interesting. Michael Deneau is in the house. And then with all the
Hey, welcome, Michael.
information, we'll come back. Thanks so much. Mr. Top, before we go to the Montreal Canadiens, because it's the week of the trade deadline, so go to jumping right away there. Then, if we have time, we can talk about the Montreal Canadiens, Mr. Top. And first of all, we have a couple of trades for the last 24 hours or the last, 20 hours we spoke together. And tonight we're going to go back at 9 o'clock p.m. with the same kind of format we did last night. It's about a trade deadline. Of course, usually it's the Ab Nation Live Tonight show, but it's a mix tonight because you have so many things we can talk. And maybe talking about the winner, the loser already. But the Los Angeles Kings make a trade last night, late, Kavrikov and Copisado for Jonathan Quick. And I'm going to forget all the draft come with the, you know what I mean? So it'd be too long to mention every one of them. But what your first impression about that trade for the Kings and for the Columbus Blue Jackets?
It wasn't a surprise to me, Coach, because there was a lot of discussion yesterday about both Gavrikov and Korpisalo being not only sat down, but even prior to that being announced that they might be involved in a trade. The surprise to me was the team. I had anticipated that they both might land in Toronto. That was kind of my speculation, and that would have sort of sealed the deal for Toronto in my eyes, in my opinion. But it didn't. Great pickups. I mean, Korpisalo's having a very good year on a bad team with not much defensive coverage. He's been as advertised, and he does that. He does have that pedigree. He's played in the playoffs before, and has performed well as well. Gavrikov, we all know what that's all about. I mean, you had half the teams chasing this guy because he brings so much to the table for the team for sure. So I thought it was a good trade. I I wouldn't I wouldn't sway from that because it's going to benefit them for sure. Not The only thing I didn't like about this, I'll be honest with you, and I know we have to treat hockey and sports as a business and stop thinking about it as fans. But I thought the way Jonathan Quick was dealt left a lot to be desired. I mean, this is a guy that's given everything to that organization, and for it to happen like this, he was very upset about it, and um, definitely I can understand that. We talk about guys like Kane, and we say they've earned that respect to kind of have a no trade clauses in their contracts and kind of select where they want to go when these kind of situations come up. Well, I think the same kind of courtesy could have been laid out too quick, but I'm probably in the minority thinking like that because the bottom line, it's a business, and LA had to do what they had to do. So that's my soap opera box for today.
Yeah, I'm absolutely right about that. I don't think so quick. It was the same quick the last couple of years compared was in the
No.
at the first half of the 2010 to 2020. But it's funny because you have to remember, guys. Jonathan Quick is a fighter. He's a guy go through when he have something in his mind, you do it. Yeah, long time ago, it was a battle for spot number one between him and Jonathan Bernier. We know Bernier was a
Yes.
first round draft by the Los Angeles Kings, and that was the battle of that situation between the Pirates for the Kings. And finally, Quick got it, and then Bernier got traded after that. But you have to remember this: they went to the Toronto Maple Leafs. If my memory is pretty good, so
Hmm.
for me, yes, that's at the end of the day is a business site, and it is what it is at the end. But don't be surprised. One day, Quick will be back with the Kings. Remember him, maybe at the rafter jersey, or maybe another, memory about him with the team. So I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? Like it's happened many old players. Sometimes they go to left and right in the league. So, but a great run for him with the Los Angeles Kings. A really great pick from the Kings and return. And again, I don't get it. This one over there, someone explained to me why the King did not get Chic run. If they cannot offer first round pick, second round pick, and the third round pick or whatever it is, I don't understand the business for the Kings. Like, I
Well, apparently, from what I understand, Coach, the LA did have an offer that they made, and it was, from what I heard, it was very generous to Arizona for Chikrin, and so the ball was in their court. I guess Arizona decided they'd explore other options. And I
yep,
guess when they heard no, they went this direction. And I think part of it was also, even though Copley's played well for LA, Quick has not this year. So they felt, we have a very strong team. We're not going to take our chances that we lose because our goaltender is either inexperienced or is not playing well. Let's go out and get some insurance here, and the rest is history.
Vancouver trade for with Detroit. This was a surprise late about this.
Yeah, very big surprise.
Philip Ronek versus a first round pick and a second round pick, if I can call it, or third round pick. And
And
what do you think
and
about
they
this one?
also, well, I think Detroit gave not only Ronick but also a fourth, if I'm not mistaken, in exchange for uh, a conditional first and a second. Is that correct? I don't
For
have it
it's,
at
I
the.
think it's 1-2, I believe.
Yeah, 1-2, but I think the one might be conditional. It might be
Yeah,
top 10
possible.
protected. I
Yes.
didn't understand. I mean, I thought it was bad enough. I mean, and that pick is not also theirs, is my understanding. It's the one they acquired from the Islanders.
I'm sorry again.
It's the pick that they acquired from the Islanders. So it's not a bottom selection, that
Yeah, it's
first
not the Vancouver Canucks pick.
pick, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So, because that would have made it a little bit more plausible, I guess,
yeah.
to swallow, or easier to swallow. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a fourth and Ronick for the first and the second, with the first one being
Yeah, it's
conditional.
exactly, and it's on first, second round, and the 4 round pick 2023 Mr. Tap for that one over there. But I want to mention this. I know Michael is a little bit upset. Some people, you have to remember this. He have never crossed the 38 point in NHL. This season is the second year he have 9 goals in 1 year. You have 23, 31, 26, 38, 38 point. That's what he got this year. For he's always been 20 minute, 21, 22 minute play minute with the Detroit Red Wings. About that, I still believe he's not a pairing number 1 or 2. I still more is a third or a fourth defenseman. He could maybe bubble with the second pairing about that one over there. He carried a $4.4 million. This is the movement. I expect you have something behind that. You're always thinking what you get
Yes,
in return,
yes.
right? So Eisenman see, look, we need a spot for Edvinson at some point. We need to put Simon and Vincent, one of the best defensemen, is going to get. So it for me is an upgrade because now you get the chance to bring the big Gen 6-6 play with somewhere with Zader at long term. You already signed a Mata and you already signed a Chariot. So if you can get a first round pick for Ronek and 2023, where it's a solid draft pick overall, but I think at long term you're going to be win. And I think for me overall it's going to be I will never see Ronek, Mr. ENORTAP, get 60 point in NHL.
No, but he is a very steady defenseman. He does contribute offensively. He's not a liability defensively. He was having I thought he was having a decent year
Oh, you have a
this
good
year.
year. This is going to be his
I
best year in NHL.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's saying a lot because initially, I know they've corrected it a little bit in the last 2 or 3 weeks, but initially Detroit's defense was not looking very good. He was probably the only one, and that's including Sider in that equation, the only one that was sort of holding his own on that team. But I see him as a solid second pairing defenseman, uh, possibly a low end, first pairing, but the second defenseman, of course. Um, yeah, I don't know. I gotta believe that there's something bigger to this, and maybe we have to wait till Friday to hear what that might be, and things will make a little bit more sense. Because otherwise, I don't see why they would do that. I understand that they have to make room for Evanson, but I don't know why give up Ronick.
I'm sorry again.
I just I don't see the urgency behind having to give up Ronick. I really don't see that.
To open a spot for Edvinson at long term. That's what the
True,
reason they
but
opened a spot for him because
but
they just signed Wildman at
yes,
$3.4 million. So they already got Chariot. They cannot go nowhere with him. He's signed for 4 years. Now they have Mata for 3 more years after this year. Now they have Seaton over there. So to bring those Evanson, your top four, who you going to remove? That's what the problem you get now. The only thing is a right defenseman, and that's is that it's bad. I see the purpose behind the trade. That's what I tried to explain about this. That's the reason they
okay,
get a first round pick. I disagree with Michael when you see the draft 2023 is not good. I completely disagree with him. I think the 2023 is better from last season. It's better to 21. They have a lot of good players. You have elite defense. Yeah, when you get a chance to have Bedard, Fantilli, you got Mitch Cobb, and you got Leo Carlson, Will Smith. You have to go check all the draft pick. I think this is a really solid draft after that. From 5 to 18 or 20, they are most of them considered top 6 in NHL or top pairing 4 in NHL. So when you said it's not a good
yeah.
draft, I don't know
No,
about
I
that.
think if I recall, I think I might be wrong, but I think what Michael had said was, I think the top 5 or 6 picks are very good. It's the rest that are you can sort of pretty much throw them in a bowl and just pick anybody after that is I think what he was saying, but maybe I don't know if Michael's in the chat.
The
He can
depth
clarify
of
that.
the draft 2023 is solid. How do you
Yeah.
consider a draft, right? It's if you have to look the first 33 pick, the 38 picks, who they are, the players, and that's what you consider a draft. It's not about only the 4, 5, 6 players. You have to go after that. Your top super elite, your elite players, your high
Yeah.
hand
Yeah.
tier one, tier two, and more you go deeper in the draft. That's what gives you a great example of what kind of draft it is at the end of the day. Does it make sense?
Right. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Then the Detroit signed, by the way, the captain Dylan Larkin today. I think it was over $8.7 million. I think he got.
Sorry, who?
Dylan
Larkin?
Larkin.
Yes, yes. Yeah. That, I mean, I kind of anticipated that. The real question mark will be around Bertuzzi, to be honest with you. Does he get signed? Does he get traded by tomorrow? Or, we'll have to wait and see. Or do they, does he get signed for next year and they stay the course with him? I suspect he'll probably be traded.
Yep. Then after that, Colorado got Last Eller, Mr. Tap, yesterday or today,
Great
whatever you
pickup.
call it. Look, this is depth. I think they was looking around the league what they can get. They don't want to get a first round pick, so they gave their second round pick again. That's what Colorado does all the time. And they got what maybe, like I said, it's a bubble second defense center. I think they feel like that with Comfort, New Hook, and Eller, they could have a good run with them. And they see maybe not many teams make a big move in the Western Conference. I think that's they feel comfortable right now. At least something could have been for the next couple hours, but that's what I feel about that.
Yeah, and he's a great face-off
Yeah.
man too. So that's a great addition for them.
Uh, you're absolutely right about that, Mr. Natap. The rest is just, Carolina got another defenseman for the preparation. They just bring a veteran players. I think that's good for them. A long term, a short term for the Carolina Hurricanes for that. Mr. Natap, Montreal, yesterday, this morning, I make a video. It's about the AB Daily News, 11 o'clock Eastern Time. Today, I talk about David Savard, the big brother, Mr. Natap. What he bring on the table, I think, is underrated this year. And I explained to him what he does, and then I talk about the happiness the Montreal Canadiens, Mr. Top, since the beginning of the season, and what happening right now on the bench on the other side of the room, and what a great performance of Curry enough yesterday. 6 shots on the net, the speed, the shot. He was really involved. I know the adrenaline of the first game. Then Kaden Cooley, wow. Kenny Goulet, he did exactly what when he left 8 weeks ago. He played another solid game. This kid is talented. We appreciate how much we miss him when we saw him yesterday. This is going to be maybe the top best defenseman, or maybe the top two best defensemen for the Montreal at long term. What a great again to have him, Caden Cooley, 16th overall pick a couple of years
Absolutely.
ago from Montreal Canadiens. Quick, Jack Allen got 30 stop, 36 or 39 shot he faced yesterday.
Yes, yes, he played a very good game and kept them in there because for the longest time it was 1-0. Yes, indeed, great to have Gooley back. But let's save these victories for next year. I would still like to drop a little bit more in the
I tell
standings.
you now, you said they will. I said no, they won't about that one there because Vancouver, Philadelphia, San Jose, everybody are getting worse and worse. Dawson Sport Corner is in the house. Welcome back. Thank you so much, Grape. Someone asked a question a little bit earlier. I live in New York area. Grape, does Kane put Rangers over the top or is comparable to the past? Esposito, I know, was a center, no winger. What do you feel about Kane with the Rangers? Do you think they feel now? You know,
I mean, you talk about a stacked team. The Rangers are at their top three lines. I would put them up against just about anybody's top three lines in the league right now. You're talking about a Hall of Famer coming over. This guy, you're reuniting with Panarin. I mean, that's absolutely fantastic. The I don't know. I look at them. I don't see any glaring um, omissions in their lineup. They have probably one of the best goaltenders They have three very solid lines. Um, the only thing I would worry about is, I don't know. It's something that, you have to wait to see how the talent plays out in the end, right? And the playoffs are a different beast. I don't particularly put, somebody like Tarasenko in the equation for, like, he's a game breaker, no doubt about it, coach, but he's not one of those gritty guys that likes to get into the corners and really dig out pucks. And obviously he's got great hands and can score. Uh, I don't know. There's something about it that just doesn't feel complete. It depends on, and sort of, I'm getting that impression even with the Leafs to a lesser degree. They just changed a third of their team. Like, we're all rejoicing. Hey, look, great players have come over. We've upgraded the team. That's fantastic. But remember, at the beginning of the year, so did Ottawa, right? And it took quite a while for them to gel and find some chemistry and be able to play together. Will this happen in the next 20 games or so? Maybe. And if that's the case, I think they're going to be a definite threat. But it doesn't always work out that way. And we've seen teams that have gone that route.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, always said when you trade like this, you make some change. You're always thinking about, okay, who is get removed,
Chemistry.
who get go less time TOI, because now you affect the locker room. So you have always
Yes.
look about this. Now the Rangers, Patrick Kane take the spot and nobody. So it's nothing we be upset over that. Like, it makes sense. Like, nobody get hurt because Kane's coming in the team now. It's just increasing the top six. So for me, I think Rangers will be fine. The Toronto, but this is really different because now you move a lot of share at the
Yes.
same time. So a Lindgren could be upset about that. A third line and the Toronto with Camp and everybody else could be upset about this overall. But I think they'll be fine because already take the spot. Anybody like Czech Krok could push now from 2 to 3rd example. Let's just give you an example about that one there. So that's one I talk about chemistry. You have always to remember who get out and what happening and the impact of that situation. So that was time to the gel, the Danny County gel time, Mr. Tap, and why not?
Why is it called the Danny County Jail?
It's because sometimes he likes to go there, Mr. Tap. He said this is the location and the best location in the world. You can eat shrimp all night long, and they are the best of the best, fresh from the back of the gel. We have a big pound in the back. That's where the gel's coming. The shrimp is on the tap, and that's the reason Danny, he's a number one over there. So, Mr. Tap, are you ready to lock him out?
Let's do it.
Hey, Danny, for the next 24 hours, you'll be alone. You get all the shrimp behind you and pick it up at what you want. We give it to you, my friend. Enjoy your 24 hours over there. Mr. Tap, it's time to go. Your 6th game of the program tonight. A lot of good game. Most of them difficult to pick. Tonight will be interesting what happening. Hopefully, we don't have to call Dalewood Smith tomorrow night. They are really upset. Say, look, we cannot do overtime after 5 o'clock. Say, look, we have to do it. It is what it is. But we'll see what happening. The Rangers, Mr. Tap, play against the Flyers. Where the Flyers are looking down now, and they're getting closer for Connor Bedard.
You know what, Coach? I actually read something somebody wrote in the chat, and that kind of solidified what I was thinking about the Rangers. As much as they're very, very talented, what they're missing is that sandpaper, like the grit, right? They're a bit on the soft side. I think somebody mentioned, and I totally agree with that. If they even had on the 4th line somebody like a Ryan Reeves that could create more space for these superstars, I would say that together with Trouba on defense, this team would be unstoppable. But I think that's the one thing that
they have a good role over there, Mr. Tap.
Oh, Goudreau's not comparable, Coach. Not to them. And he's going to be dropping probably down to the 4th line. So I wouldn't.
Goudreau play very well the 3rd line with the Tampa Bay
Rangers
Lightning.
don't get me wrong. I like the Rangers. I'm very bullish on them. I think that they will do very well. But if we're nitpicking, that's the one area I would say that they could have improved a little bit more on. But anyways, for tonight they're going to get a little bit of a break. I think it looks like they're playing. Well, it doesn't look like they are definitely playing the Philadelphia Flyers. It's confirmed that Shesterkin and Hart are the starters. Um, and we've been mentioning it finally has happened. It took a while, but Kane has come to town and has joined the Big Apple. I personally think when you put them together with Panarik, you're going to see some of that magic that they created over the years in Chicago. Uh, it's a top team and a serious threat to win the cup this year. Making a deal to acquire probably one of the league's best talents means that they're going to be there in my eyes. The only well, let me backtrack it a little bit. Here tonight, they're playing a Flyer team which now has, I think, lost 7 out of their last 8 games, if I'm not mistaken. They're not looking great lately. They've lost a few players to injuries as well. You can tell that they're sort of pretty much in tank mode at this stage. You would think, though, that Torts would have, at one point it looked like they were in games. Whether they were winning or losing, that was irrelevant, but they were always playing with a certain aim in mind and trying to establish that culture on the team that I think Torts wants to get going. But lately they haven't looked great. And I think tonight they're going to be in for a bit of a run by the Rangers. I'm going to take the Rangers to win this one by a score of 5-2.
5-2.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. ENORTAP, we have the Nissan back in the house. Mr. ENORTAP is right there on the 407 driving home. He said, hurry up. It's 6:50. The mill is going to be cold, Mr. ENORTAP. So he's driving home right there on his blue Nissan color, Mr. ENORTAP. Turn around the corner, come back now the driveway. And after he got the Tim Horton, his last coffee of the day, Mr. ENORTAP. And that's what my 5-1, Mr. ENORTAP, for the Rangers. Sorry about that. I got disturbed when I see the Nissan. I'm getting excited, nervous.
Okay, this has got to be the game of the night, don't you think, Coach, tonight? Toronto and Edmonton. Samsonov is confirmed. Skinner is not yet, but I would anticipate he'll be the starter. It's an all-Canadian matchup between, of course, Austin Matthews and the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. The Stars will be out tonight at the Rogers Place. This is going to be, I think, a very exciting game. Both teams can score and put the puck in the net. Defensively, not as desirable from either side, really. But it's going to be exciting to see, the new players coming in. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how many of them will actually be playing tonight of the new arrivals. But if they're in tonight, then it'll give us a good idea of what this is all about. I think McDavid is having, his best year in his career so far. He's already hit 50. I think we're looking at the possibility of him hitting around 60, 65 this year. And, if there's one place that he wants to prove this, since the recipient of that scoring, the Richard Award was Matthews last year, he'll want to make a statement here tonight at home against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I'm going to go with the Edmonton Oilers to win this one by a score of 5-4.
That's a great pick, Mr. Natap. I like the score, 5-4. This is an amazing, great pick. I love it, Mr. Natap. But I go with Toronto Maple Leafs, Mr. Natap, and I
I know
believe
you
it's going
would.
to be the end of the score, 5-4 too.
Okay, let's do it.
I don't like
I've been
Edmonton at home,
losing all
Mr.
these
Natap.
ones. Yeah, exactly. I like them. Okay, so Arizona and Dallas. Now, Arizona played last night, so they're on a back-to-back. The Stars, they head into this game as losers of their last 4 out of the 5 games, past 5 games, a few of which have come in overtime, as I mentioned earlier today. It's unfortunate because they're leaving all sorts of points dangling out there that they should have probably been running away uh, with the Western Conference altogether, not let alone just the division. Dallas has actually been one of the worst teams in overtime this year, with a lot of close games that they've been involved in. But that's also their style, so we have to kind of be accommodated to that. They're a frustrating team to follow. They seem to have more consistency at the beginning of the year, and we're winning games in regulation time. And it isn't until I'd say the last month and a half, really, that they've looked a little bit more suspect and beatable. What has kept them in really in every single game, of course, is Ottinger. And tonight he's the confirmed starter for them. And for Arizona, it's Ingram. Um, since Velmalka played last night. So, the Arizona is not dominant on either side of the ice. As we all know, the metrics would support that. They really are not as strong when they're on the road as well. So, to make a long story short here, I'm going to take Dallas to finally win in regulation time by a score of 4-2.
Well, to Mr. Natap,
Yes, sir.
5-2, Mr. Natap.
All right. And the other game that comes very close to Toronto and Edmonton is going to be this one right here. I think New Jersey and Colorado are going to put quite a show on us, show on for us tonight. Vanacek is confirmed, and apparently Annunen is playing tonight in net for Colorado. And originally, I think I had put my support towards Colorado for this one, and I've been rethinking it within the last half hour or so, which way I want to go. And I don't know. It's going to be a tough game. I think both teams like to play that open style, fast game. They very much mirror each other in terms of their style. Of course, I think Colorado has the stronger defense, and that's sort of what gets them through a lot of the matches. I'm not sure, is Makar back tonight, Coach?
It
Do
was
you
now
know?
day to day.
Day to day, so we don't
Yep.
know
No.
if he's playing tonight. So he's still out.
McCart is
I
out
think
and
both.
Meyer is not in.
Okay, so that's interesting. I guess they're playing it safe with Makar right now. Ever since he came back, since the All Star break, he's had the two injuries. Both it looks like concussion oriented. So uh, I don't blame them for trying to be safe about it. One thing I do like seeing with the Avalanche right now is the elevated play of Georgiev. He's been solid since the beginning of February. If you look at some of the metrics, like right now he ranks fifth out of the 69 goalies in goals saved above expected. So he's been giving them some great goaltending, and and that's much needed for a team that's been raked over the coals in terms of injuries as well. So I I think I'll still stick with the Colorado for this one, but it'll be a very close game, possibly overtime. I'm going to go Colorado by a score of 3-2
3-2, Mr. Tap. All
at
right.
home.
I did the same thing. I just add more goal because the goaltender situation. But I have the same mindset like you, so I feel good now. You took Colorado.
Okay. And next we have Carolina and Vegas. Vegas returns home after that 3-0 defeat to the Avalanche on Monday. But they played a good game there. They're still first in the Pacific with that record that you see there of 35, 19, and 6. Injuries have really hurt this team this year. We don't have a clear status of where Logan Thompson is, and that's why all sorts of speculation is out there. One of the things I think I heard today was that maybe they were looking to try to acquire Quick from Columbus, but I don't know. I don't think that that'll come to fruition. I think in the absence of Stone, in particular, Thompson. I think guys like Eichel have stepped up a little bit and really have sort of shouldered some of the weight. Of course, Rantanen's having one of his best years ever. I think this guy can possibly hit 50 goals this year for uh, uh, sorry, not Rantanen. My mistake. We're I sorry, I think I mixed that up. This is Carolina, sorry, and Vegas. Yeah, we were talking about Colorado before. Yeah, Carolina is coming off of a loss to Anaheim by a score of 3-2, and I think that these two teams could be possible. You can consider them possible opponents for the Stanley Cup. It looks like it's Anderson against Hill tonight. So I'm going to go with the solid team here all around, which is Carolina, to win this one, but it'll be a close one. I'll go 3-2.
Mr. Tap, you nailed it. You nailed it, Mr. Tap.
Carolina, 3-2.
I feel so good right now. Mr. Tap is on the same page like me. Like he's just missing the Edmonton, Toronto, but otherwise, pretty good about this one with Mr. Tap. Consider this last game of the night. I believe we are right.
Washington and Anaheim. Now, interesting here. You look at this on paper and you say, okay, Washington. And you could definitely present a very plausible argument for that decision. But the Capitals are traveling to Anaheim, and this is actually the first time this season that they're facing off. The Capitals right now they're finding themselves in a rare position for the first time in I'd say about 15 years. It looks like they're going to be sellers at the trade deadline time. Gone are guys like Orlov and Hathaway, and now Johansson as well. And we could possibly even see some more movement before this is all said and done. And to boot, they come into this game now having lost 7 of their last 10 games. They're 14 and 17 straight up on the road this season. And when you talk about hockey, a lot of it is about momentum and being in the right mindset. And right now, Washington is in that proper mindset. The Ducks, on the other hand, are riding a 3-game win streak in which they've held the opposition to 6 total goals while they've scored 11 themselves. And you know what? I think they're motivated to try to show some of the younger players on the team. They're motivated to show that they belong on the team. But it looks like it's Kemper against Gibson, which Gibson is confirmed. So my I don't know if you want to call it a shocker, but my surprise of the night will be Anaheim at home to defeat Washington by a score of 3-2.
3-2, Mr. Natap, for you. Congratulations. I don't know why, but now I feel like OV is going to get that one over there tonight, Mr. Natap. I feel OV is going to score 2 goals, and the Washington is going to win by the score 4-2, Mr. Natap, tonight. Whatsoever, this game is a giveaway for me. I have no expectation about that game, so I just go with big game for the Washington Capitals after those change they got.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely about that, Mr. Natap. Another great show tonight. We crossed a bit over time, but it was a great. Again, this is the week of the trade deadline, Mr. Natap, so we have a lot of stuff to talk. It's not like a normal warm-up show. We go with everything's going around, and we jump in the news and breaking news live. You bring on the table, everybody bring on the table. It'll be interesting what's going to happen. But tonight, Mr. Natap, first of all, we want to remind everybody, don't forget my video today at 11 o'clock. It was about Saval, the Big Brother. I invite you Monday to Friday at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. You get a video. And then tonight, Mr. Natap, at 9 o'clock, we're going to do another talk about the Let's Talk trade deadline. This will be show number 2 of the week tonight. So usually we talk at 9 o'clock, Mr. Natap, Montreal Canadian. But I think tonight we're going to go again, consider what we got there. We're going to invite people like you, Marco, and Michael De Villano, if they can join us live for have a room table again. That would be great to have everybody with us talking about this. We'll be there for about 90 minutes, so that's my expectation tonight. But before we leave, Mr. Natap, we have to invite you to let you know what are you looking for tonight, Mr. Natap.
Well, we mentioned the 2 big games, Toronto and Edmonton. That's going to be huge, and of course the Colorado and New Jersey game, Coach. Those are the biggies, the heavyweights tonight.
Yep. We want to tell you, my Dan, come join us tonight at 9 o'clock p.m. We're going to ask those questions. We are doing the show, Dan, obviously. The Jet need to figure out something because the Jet not looking good. I just want to remind you, Mr. Natap, I don't know if you hear that, but Rick Bengal make a prediction. He believes the Toronto Maple Leafs going to win the Stanley Cup.
Yes, he's very adamant about it.
The chant out there for sure. A lot of great hockey games tonight, Mr. Natap. We can't wait to watching those, but I can't wait to see people at 9 o'clock. You're welcome to join me live. It's just confirmed before 8:30. This is the rules we got at the warm-up show at 8:30, Mr. Natap. If you can let me know, that'd be great. Until then, Mr. Natap, we wish you not an amazing, great night, but we want to remind you because you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. Yes, you have greatness inside of you. That's the reason you're the co-host of the warm-up show. With all the prediction, you've been great, and you gave all the most important things. It's not the outcome of the game. It's all the information you gave before the game. This is what we're looking for each day with you, Mr. Natap. Until then, be well, be healthy. Find a way not only to dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the first half of what?
Year 2023.
You did it again. Have an amazing, great night, Mr. Natap. I can wait to see you a little bit later if possible.
Good night, Coach. Good night, Hockey Nation.